All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the number one Latino podcast in New York. You already know. According to my jefecita, she reminded me today. Mijo, you're doing a good job. Welcome. Today we have a very special guest who's making waves in the Mexican and lowrider community. Brklyn John, what's going on, my brother?
Hey, what's up, guy?
What's going on?
What's up, bro? Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, of course. Cheers, first of all. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes, sir. Cheers, talk you already know. My brother, Brklyn John. Man, have I seen your videos everywhere. You've been everywhere, literally. Like you've been, almost 10 million views on your page, nearly 100K followers, and you've been posted by we were just talking about this before we even started shooting, how like people have been posting your videos and you have no idea. You're just
right.
like famous people, influencers. Like I know this podcast called La Plática.
Okay, yeah.
The host of them, like they just like started reposting your videos left and right. I'm like, does he even know that he's getting posted?
Yeah, bro. Some people might take this the wrong way, cause sometimes I actually don't see them. Like sometimes they'll mention me,
right?
But I don't get notified. Cause
right.
To be honest, I have my notifications turned off, cause it got to a point where I get too distracted. And it's like I'm not doing what I gotta do.
Yeah, I mean, almost at 100K followers, it's crazy. Like I can imagine.
Yeah, bro. So some people are like, this guy, ya se cree mucho, or
no.
But it's not like that. I'm always doing something. Either if I'm not like editing, I'm recording. I have my regular job, so I'm always doing something.
No, and I feel like that's a good thing too. As we were talking about right before we shot, how like you humble yourself. Like even though this thing is like taking off like crazy, that keep it calm, keep it cool, and keep moving. Just because you get posted by this or you have this many followers or whatever, it doesn't mean that you're gonna you know what, I'm not gonna pay attention to this. Like, right. You do it for there's a certain reason why, like you said, at this point in your your following in your career, I'm guessing that a lot of people want to reach out to you and want to hey, do this, do that, let's do that. So I'm guessing this it gets overwhelming.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah, or sometimes people will message me like, hey, this person is reposting you. So that's when I see it. I'm like, oh damn, like that's crazy, Especially, I was born and raised here in Brooklyn. So for me to have somebody from like the West Coast repost me,
yeah, it's crazy.
Like to this day, I can't believe it. I still don't believe it.
Yeah, and sorry to interrupt, but like to bring the Chicano culture, the lowrider culture from the East Coast and have it, seen in the West Coast must be crazy to you, because in reality that's more of a West Coast thing, right?
Right. Like I said, I always tell people, back in 2019, that's when I discovered Lowriders in New York for the first time. Because growing up, I used to do laundry with my parents. Like I used to go with them every week.
Right.
And by that time, I'm talking about 2000.
For those that don't know, we do not have, for the most part in New York, we don't have washers or dryers in our apartments. So we go to a physical, laundromat. But yeah, sorry, keep going.
Right. So I used to go with them every Friday, and during that time, there was machines there where you put 25 cents, 50 cents, and I used to always see those little figures, the little homies.
Oh yes, little homies.
Yeah.
Shit, I wouldn't even made the connection. Okay.
Yeah. So from there, I would ask my mom hey, can I get a quarter? And I would just every Friday. It was every Friday where I had to pretty much ask her can I get a quarter?
Oh, I'll take it home. That's cool.
And I used to just collect them. And at that time, to me, I loved it. I love collecting them. But I didn't know that they were gonna mean so much now.
Right, you didn't know it was gonna impact your life the way it is.
Right,
now.
So nowadays you try to find them, and
and now they even made a collab. Actually, now funny that you brought that up. I just bought a bunch of the homies things. Now they sell them at what is it? Zoomies, right? And now they have the totes, they have the shirts, the hoodies. Now it's before, I'm pretty sure, I don't know who was the one that put that in those machines. I know for whoever does, they don't know what we're talking about. It's just those quarter machines, and instead of gumballs or anything, it was little spheres, and inside you had the homies, you had the Chicanos. And
you had all these type of little figures that represented Cali. But they had it out here. They were pretty popular.
Yeah, they were very popular. But
right, so,
almost every laundromat had it.
Exactly. So I would you would literally see me, because I'm from Sunset Park.
Shout out Sunset Park.
So they had those machines everywhere in Sunset Park, And literally any machine that I sold them, like I would ask my mom, "Can I get a quarter?"
Right,
Put it,
right. Well,
and
that's cool. That's cool that I wouldn't even think of that. That sparked your like your interest.
yeah,
But let's take it back now. Let's start from your childhood. How was Brooklyn John or Jonathan, right?
Jonathan, yeah.
Jonathan, how was you like, uh where you said you were born in Sunset Park. How was that childhood coming up? Other than the quarter homies, what else inspired you coming up or growing up?
Well, pretty much, like I said, I was always so close to my cousin. Shout out to my cousin, Spider. I was pretty much always with him. Like any like car event that he would go to, he'll take me. And that's when I started like, I didn't know obviously nothing about lowriders,
Right.
but we used to go to these car shows and car meets, and I would always go with him. Like, hey, you want to come with me? I would be like, yeah, let's go. And during those times, he also had like a little RC car,
Oh,
and it
okay.
was a lowrider. But
Okay,
I
cool.
didn't know it was a lowrider. I thought it was just
Right.
a random car.
Right.
And I saw him like hitting like the little
The switches.
the switches.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I found that so cool.
Right.
And from there, like I say, every event that he had, any car show, hey, come with me, and I will always go. So I guess you could say that I grew up with that
Right.
in a way. But like I said, obviously that's a West Coast thing, so we didn't really have that here.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, my parents are both of them actually they're not into that, so
Oh,
it's
okay,
crazy
okay.
how
What part
actually.
of Mexico are they from, if you don't
Well,
mind me?
both of them they're from the, Mexico City,
Oh,
definitely.
Mexico City.
Yeah, my
Okay,
dad's from
cool.
Nesa, my mom like nearby like Basilica de Guadalupe.
Oh, cool, cool. All right, cool. Yeah, so definitely that's like, yeah, that's more like the lowrider scene. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's more towards like the like La Linea, like the Frontera, all of that.
Right, yeah, yeah.
All right, cool, cool. So, all right. So, what was first? What do you think came first? You think the machines was the first thing that inspired you, or you think your cousin was the one that like sparked that up, like that interest in the lowriders?
To be honest, I think it was the machines.
The
The
machines,
machines, because like I said, it was every Friday, so I was going there every Friday with my parents,
right?
and I would just take them home, collect them, and then also my cousin was collecting them, so he also got rid of them. He gave it to me, so I built a beer collection,
Oh, okay.
and I used to also collect like classic cars, not
Oh, okay.
lowriders, but they were just classic
Right,
cars.
right, right.
And like I said, just from there, it's just I enjoyed it. I loved it. But
Okay, cool. And now let's take it back, or let's bring it to how did the lowrider scene meet the filmmaker, and it became what you've become now. Where did filmmaking become an interest, or was it because of the lowriders, or you had like a side? A lot of people have a lot of interests, like myself. Like I like doing the podcast, and I'm a DJ as well. It's
right.
two interests that I like. How did those two interests come together, collide to become what you've become now?
It's crazy because growing up, I wanted to be a graphic designer,
Okay, cool.
or if not, a computer engineering.
Okay.
So it had nothing to do with filming.
Right, right.
And like I said, one time after going to these car shows with my cousin for so many years now, in 2019, they invited him to a barbecue. Well, like, sorry, it's not a barbecue. It was like a bike blessing. So they have a motorcycle club in the Bronx,
Okay.
and they're all Mexicans. They'll come from they represent that culture.
Right.
And they're like, oh, come to the bike blessing. So what a bike blessing is, they pretty much have a priest go to the location. At that time, it was the Bronx. They go to the location, they bless the bikes. They like have a little prayer.
Right.
So and then they told my cousin, hey, there's gonna be lowriders there too, so come
Oh
out.
shoot. Okay.
But I didn't believe it, to be honest. I'm like, lowriders in New York. I'm like,
Yeah.
he probably misunderstood that or misheard that. I'm like, there's no way
Right.
there's
Right.
lowriders here. And yeah, I mean, we were there, we got there, and like an hour after, I hear like music coming from far, and I see like I started hearing like Chicano rap, but I'm like, I at that time I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know what was Chicano rap.
Right.
Like I
Right.
grew up to listening to MC Magic, Little
Right. Right.
Rob,
But
you
that was
know,
more like English.
right.
That was more
So,
English.
but then I see I look up and I see like lowriders actually coming
Oh
down the
shoot.
street. So the first thing I did was take out my phone and I started recording, and obviously the camera the quality was shitty.
Right. Right.
So I didn't know nothing because, like I said, I didn't want to be a videographer.
Right. Right. You just
So
wanted to capture that
I just
moment.
want to exactly. I want to capture the moment. So I started seeing more and more cars coming and hitting the switches, and like I like how everything that they do is pretty much they bring the families.
Okay.
So everything has to do with families, or they doing it for a good cause, or just
Right.
they like it. So yeah, so I started recording, and I met a lot of these guys that day, and one of them actually came up to us and they're like, hey, every Friday, we have like a cruising in Times Square. You guys
Right.
should come over. So I didn't know what was a cruising. I'm like, I had to do my research. I'm like, what is a cruising?
Right. And what age is this? What age were you at around this time?
This happened in 2019, so I was like, I was actually 21.
So fairly recent.
Yeah,
Fairly
yeah, yeah.
recent. Okay.
And so yeah, so I did my research. I'm like, what is cruising? And yeah, I mean, apparently they get to the spot, which is Bryant Park at that time.
Okay.
Like a bunch of lowriders come out, and then after a while, they wait for everybody. They start like pretty much going all over Times
Okay.
Square. So that's when I, like I said, again, I took my phone, I started recording, and like I said, the quality wasn't as great,
Right.
but the owners of the cars were like, hey, how can we share your video because it's not letting us.
Right.
And
Right.
during those times, I didn't know really much about Instagram because my page was private.
Okay.
So I didn't really have many followers. Like I didn't know much about social media because I was just
Right.
posting like personal stuff or just random stuff. So I did my research. I went on YouTube and I made my page public,
Okay.
and that's when they were able to like reshare the videos,
Oh. Okay. Okay.
and that's when I started seeing like followers like coming. I'm like,
Right.
damn,
They
like just out
started
of
like there.
nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was mostly these guys from New York that they
Mm.
started following me, and yeah, like I said, just after like so many invites that they started telling me every Friday, come out. Like, all right, I want to actually capture this, but like I actually want to invest my time and know what I'm
Right.
doing.
Right. And then we talked about this right before shooting. But just for the people watching to hear, did you have any filmmaking experience, or did you go to school for any of this for filmmaking, or what's your background with filmmaking other than your iPhone videos?
To be honest, I didn't know nothing about it. I mean, I knew people that were shooting on iPhone,
Right.
but those people that I asked questions, you always meet that person like they don't want to share what they
Yeah.
know.
We've talked about this. Yeah.
Unfortunately, they don't like sharing what they know.
It sucks, huh? How people don't want to share information. Like,
Yeah, I mean, even till this day, like you ask me, oh, I need this information. If I know it, then I'll give it to you. Like to me, there's no problem. But there's some people that feel like they can't share what they know,
yeah.
which everybody has different mentality.
Yeah, but it's good that you're like that too. I forgot. Oh shoot, I'm blanking out right now. Who? Oh, I would. My boy DJ Leo, or same thing coming up as a DJ. Like you try to ask anyone for anything, and it's like, bro, you would think like they have it in a vault, or
Right.
something like that, and it sucks because you can. It's so easy to share a piece of information, but because greed or whatever you want to call it, people want to reserve that information to them and like, nah, like, or maybe I get it. I get the point where it's like people they struggled for a lot of the things they learned, or
Right.
they went through the trenches, whatever that means for every individual, to learn what they know now, to like just give it up. But at the same time, if you went through it and you can help someone avoid that, then why not? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. So after that, I'm like I said, I would like do my research on YouTube. You'll see me like every single day for a bunch of hours. Just like do my research. How can I better my quality on iPhone? What can I do to improve my quality? So that's when I started like pretty much like I started seeing this brand called Moment. And pretty much they had like all these gears for the phone. So I bought like a case, but in the case it had like a built-in where you could pretty much buy filters for the phone.
Right.
And I downloaded an app called Filmic Pro, and that's when like pretty much I was able to download my ISO. But like I said, I didn't know what was ISO,
Right.
shutter speed, none of that.
Right. Right. The little settings you fix around to like
Yeah,
get
on a
better.
professional camera.
Right. Right. Right.
So
Okay.
so yeah, so like I said, after hours and hours and pretty much weeks of pretty much trying to learn the how to actually become better, I got like the idea, but I mean it wasn't still to me it wasn't the greatest. So I would pretty much like again on YouTube. Yeah, so overall pretty much just hours investing in like in YouTube on YouTube. That's when I got the hang of trying to build my little setup,
Right.
and eventually I got the hang of it. I started improving my quality, and that's why pretty much I got into like pretty much I got known for shooting on an iPhone.
Oh, okay. Cool. And
Pe-
then you said people didn't even believe you that you were like.
Yeah, I mean, there's people like, hey, there's no way you're shooting this on iPhone. I mean, because I also like I used to shoot on iMovie, and
Okay.
for me, color grading was like slapping like a filter over it,
Right. Right.
and
Right.
it made a whole, made it look different. But it was not color graded, it was just a filter.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I mean, people didn't believe me until they saw like my setup in person. I mean, oh damn, like you're actually shooting on an iPhone.
Right. Right.
So that's when, like I said, I started like pretty much just building my setups, and just going to these events.
Right. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. And then how come you like that only like you didn't grab that filmmaking like knowledge you had now and then travel it, what kept you gravitated towards like the Chicano or more like the lowrider scene? What gravitated you more towards it? What was like, did you eventually want to own maybe a lowrider at some point, or what was it like? Maybe it's the paint jobs. I know the paint jobs are really cool. What was it that gravitated you more towards?
To me, to be honest, to me, it was the art and the cars,
Okay.
the art, and also how any like event that they had, it was pretty much everything family orientated.
Okay, okay. So
So
you're a big family person. That you come from a
yeah, I
big
mean,
family
for me, like
background.
you know, it's always been family first. So for me, like that to me, you know, matters a lot.
Right.
And obviously, my parents never go to these events because they don't like it.
Right.
But just the fact that I see it is like when I'm capturing the moment, you know, it feels so good. Like I said, everybody's like with the kids, wife,
Right. Right.
and they're just having a good time. Like I said, a lot of people. I mean, when this first started, I mean, it still happens, but before it was more, I guess you could say, bad in a way because the way people dress,
Right.
they're like, oh, this guy's a cholo,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
guy is
Yeah.
you know is a gang, you know, and they always you know got pretty much mistaken them for
Right.
that,
They
you
had
know,
a bad perception of what
right.
this culture brought.
Especially you know them like there were a lot of Dickies,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
Ben Davis, FB County, which those are like Cali brands.
Right.
But you know, they just grew up with that style. So it's
Right.
like growing up, you know, you can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
You
Of
got so
course.
used to it. But I think for me, it was all that like art, family.
Okay, cool. And now there's pretty sure, I don't know, maybe they've have asked you this question before or not. Would you ever want to own one of these like really beautiful cars? Is it a goal maybe of yours to own one of these cars?
To me, yeah, to me, I always want to own like a '64 Impala
Oh, an Impala. Wow,
or
yeah.
'59, also Impala. But those are dream cars. But like I said, I live in Brooklyn, which there's two guys that live in Brooklyn
Right.
and they own lowriders. But to me, it's like, yeah, it's a lot of work. Then, you know, if you
The
want to
maintenance,
build,
right?
yeah, exactly, you want to build it your own. I don't have a garage,
Right, right.
so I can't do everything outside.
Yeah, it's tough to have a car in New York. A car in
Exactly.
general. So not imagine like a piece of art. Because
Right.
that's more of a piece of art, that
Exactly.
it's not something you're riding around to work, every day. That's something you're showing off, like you said, on the weekends. You
Right.
go out with the boys, out with the family, show off that car. It's more of an artwork.
Yeah, so I can't. I definitely can't have that outside. So that's what stops me. Maybe in the future, if I move, then and I get my own like house, my own place, then I'll definitely like look into that. But yeah, I always wanted a '64 Impala. Just growing up, I just love the way they
The
look.
look, they're really cool. Brooklyn John, have you ever seen the movie Blood In, Blood Out?
Oh yeah, so many times already.
Yeah.
Like, even to
Like,
this day, I saw it like a couple weeks ago.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie.
That's like probably a staple with like
Yeah, that's
within
like the
you.
main. Like that's also pretty much how people know about the culture, the scene. Because when you ask anybody, well, here in the East Coast, like, hey, have you seen the movie Blood In, Blood Out? And I feel like everybody has watched it.
Right, right. And for those that don't know, I really highly recommend that movie. It's probably you got to be if you don't know that movie, you're not a real Mexican. Like you
Or
got
there is or just this generation, you know, they didn't
yeah,
grow up
or
to
maybe
that.
yeah, this generation. But that's like a staple of like you they like obviously it's an acted movie, but if you look at what a Chicano used to be, that's what it was.
Exactly.
Immigrant parents, and they're born here, but they have like they're blessed with like half and half of like the cultures combined. But they're because of their surrounding, because of their community, they're heavily influenced by their culture and
Right.
that movie expresses it so well. You think that movie inspired you a little bit too? When like the first time you saw it, you were like, damn, this is
I mean, I to be honest, yeah. I mean, because when I was younger, my cousin again, it was him because I saw them because that was the reason I saw the movie because like, hey, you watch this movie,
right,
and like I said, to them obviously in Cali that's their lifestyle.
right,
Here
right,
is more like I mean nowadays I feel like people just try to like fit into that crowd, which
right,
I mean everybody thinks different,
right.
but yeah, I mean Cali is definitely is a lifestyle.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and I mean, man, even me. Last time I saw it, I remember like when I saw that movie, like it was last summer. I saw the movie again last summer. I started putting classical music on my car, riding around. Like I have a Mazda CX-5, riding
Oh
around like if it
damn.
was like if it was a low ride. But it's just like that vibe hits you so much. Like I would understand why people want to. Maybe not imitate it, but like emulate it or live it through them. Because
Right.
at one point or another, most of us are like that. We're either raised or born here, and but we come so deeply or heavily influenced by our culture that we just want to
Exactly.
naturally want to show that off, right? Now that that you've seen that you've upgraded like your filmmaking, from a phone to like whatever setup you're running right now. What's some challenges that you've came across, whether it's with filming this type of content or just in general, or like is there any challenges that have came with this type of filming?
Actually, jumping from my phone because I was shooting with iPhone for 3, 4 years,
Okay.
and jumping from a phone to a camera was totally different.
Right.
I didn't know what was ISO. I mean, yeah, I did it like I said on the app that I was using, but it was not the same as the camera, in my
Right.
opinion. So learning like pretty much the settings on the camera, um, and then I also, like I said, bought a stabilizer, how to balance it the right way.
Right.
Editing, like I said, I actually bought. I started shooting. Editing on Final Cut Pro.
Okay.
So it's way different compared to iMovie. iMovie, I feel like it's more for beginners and you want to do something quick.
Yeah.
Final Cut, I feel like it has so many settings that you got to learn.
Right.
Which for me, I do color grading. I fix audio. Except for me, I like to shoot everything in slow motion. I feel like it gives it a different vibe. Shooting everything in slow motion.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. For those that which is highly rare, but those that haven't seen John's work, it's like I don't know. I feel like I'm not a filmmaker. I wouldn't consider myself a filmmaker, but I do consider myself a creator of like film. There's a whole different thing. Like I consider
Right.
you a filmmaker, right? But I feel like what we try to portray, or at least in my, let's say when I shoot my podcast and I make clips of it, like what I try to give the audience, and maybe you can relate, is like you try to give them a feeling through the visual, and a lot of that has to do with like the way you shoot, like the actual shot of it, like
Right.
how do you shoot it, what position you're, like literally what physical position you're in shooting the content, the song you put behind it, like you said, the slow mo, it gives it like a certain feel. Would you agree with that?
I definitely agree with that because except for me, if I'm editing and I don't like the video at the end, I know nobody's gonna like it.
Right,
I always see it that way. If I don't like it, then somebody else might not like it.
right, right,
And then like for me, the hardest part is choosing a song. Choosing a song for me is I spend hours trying to choose the right song for a video. And also like I said, there's new updates constantly, so you gotta adapt to the new updates.
right.
So it's definitely a process, and people think it's easy editing, but in reality, it's not. But if you really enjoy it, then obviously you're gonna have fun with it.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me about it. We were just talking about it. How like we love this like filmmaking thing, and like what I just told you, I think this might be a new passion for me, like the filmmaking and the editing. I love it, but the amount of time it takes
Yeah,
for
it
like
definitely takes a lot of
even
time.
like these clips I see on a lot of them nowadays are like just they're like point and shoot and they're just posting whatever. But the people that like yourself or like other filmmakers that take that you can tell that there's time, and it doesn't even have to be like an hour long movie. It could just be like a 30-second, 15-second clip. It could take hours upon hours to edit that, just so to make it the way you want it to come out.
Yeah, exactly. To this day, like I go to events, and like that same night, they're messaging me like, "Hey, can I get the clip that you recorded?" I'm like, I haven't even edited the video. I'm like,
Right,
it takes time, and sometimes people are like, "Hey, how can a 15-second clip, 30-second clip take that long?" I'm like,
right,
it takes time. I'm like,
yeah,
especially me, like I said, I shoot everything raw, so I have to color grade everything,
right,
choose the right song. And then, like I said, and make sure like if I like it, then obviously I'll put it out. But if I don't, I have to like re-edit everything.
right, right,
So
right. And I'm guessing they see it like well, some of the events like there's like a lot of people that shoot and like can post, but because there's no post production
right.
when it comes to it, so they feel like, oh, you could just shoot it and then send it to me, and it doesn't work like
It
I said.
doesn't work like
There's a
that.
lot of things. What I've noticed now that I started this podcast, that there's so much into the. It's not just opening up the camera and just shooting. It's like the angle you want. You want to make sure the frame is correct. You want to make
Right.
sure you got your subjects in frame. Make sure you want to have the lighting correct. You don't want to blast them with lighting, but you want to make sure they're well lit. And stuff like that. And it takes time.
Exactly. Or if it also happened to me where a bunch of times where I thought I was recording and I never hit the record
Oh
button.
shoot, man!
Like that was like one of the
Let me
worst
double check just in case. All right,
feelings.
now we're good. We're good.
That
We're
was one
good.
of the worst feelings. Like, 'cause, once I hit that, I stopped recording, but I heard the click. It was starting to record.
Yo, I
So
can
I'm
just
like,
imagine you have like a nice
oh,
shot.
like damn, like I missed the
Oh
moment.
shoot, I forgot to hit record. Yo, that'd be crazy. Yeah, that'd
I'm
be
like,
crazy. But right now, so let's talk about the elephant in the room. There's right now we're living as Hispanics, as Mexicans. We're living a really tough time right now with what's going on with who's in the office right now, who's running the country right now. Unfortunately, we're living in the worst case scenario. Would you say it's like the worst case scenario right now?
I mean, at the moment, yes. But then again, I feel like we go through this so many times. But I mean, I feel like during these times, yeah. I mean, like it happened to me a couple of times ago, where before this guy that is in the White House now,
The hot Cheeto.
right? Um, I started seeing so many people, like I lost a bunch of followers over a post that I made,
Really?
and it wasn't even my post. Like I just reposted
Right,
the
right.
thing, and I noticed that a lot of my followers, well, during that time, they were all like for him, and now
Right.
that they see what's going on, all of a sudden they switch up and like, oh yeah, you
Yeah.
know,
And it sucks, man, because what I've came to realize with this whole thing, maybe you can agree, maybe you can give me your perspective on it. What I feel like that it's really killing us as a community is that unfortunately the worst hater for a Hispanic is another Hispanic. Unfortunately, I've seen, and by I tell you, I've seen, I know a lot of people, and like you said, people that I follow, that you're like, at the end of the day, everyone is entitled to their opinion. Everyone's entitled to,
right,
their vote or anything, whatever you want, right? But when you come from, a family of immigrants, when you come from a family of hardworking immigrants, that come here to give you a better life, come here fighting everything and everyone, not knowing, not even the language, in a foreign country, and then there's this man that comes and wants to rip everything, all of that away. Years and years and years of fight, and pretty much that fight with everything, fighting, like I said, with in a country you don't know, a language you don't know, and then you come and you speak against that. To me, it's like the most backwards shit ever, just because, like, we're here, because of them, right?
right,
And if anything, this country is built on immigrants,
right.
everybody says it. Americans say it, Mexicans say it. We like to, that's our thing. What are Mexicans known for? Hard
Hard
workers.
work. Yep.
Hard workers. And it's true. And then when you see like someone, just because they were born here, have a certain paper that tells them I'm from here, they feel like,
Nah,
a
and,
different,
and I agree because I don't know if you saw them on my page, but recently I posted a reel, and it had the audio of Bo Bondi. He's from Texas, and pretty much talks about like all the things that are going on right now.
right.
And so I used that audio on my clip for that I posted, and like I had like over 2,000 comments that were all negative. And if I look back, most of them are Mexicans.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, it's mainly raza against raza, pretty much attacking one another. Which to me,
Yeah.
I feel like during these times, I feel like they should just come together, unite, and speak up.
Yeah,
Said
it's
I,
happening with all these influencers. Like, look at all the influencers that are getting, canceled. That's a new culture, cancel. But in reality, it's like, it sucks that we have to call these people out, as a community, like, hey, because in reality, it's people that are like, now let's take it a step further, like these, whatever you want to call it, influencers, or even like these grupos, like the one that's popping out right now, like Frontera.
oh yeah,
Ironically, their name is Frontera,
right,
Grupo Frontera. They're getting canceled. But I feel like, it's the most backward shit I've ever seen in my life. Like, how being a Mexican, profiting off of a Mexican culture from Mexican people,
right.
you're against them. That's like, it's the most backward shit I've ever, honestly, like, it's hard to explain, like, how do these folks that are on the other side not feel empowered when they're like, oh, their own people are against them.
Exactly. I mean, and the thing is, and I say this to this day, and there's so many people that say they do things for the community, they do things for the culture, but now that is the moment to speak up. Like, where are they?
Yeah.
I know so many people like here in New York where they're like, oh, I'm for the culture, but I haven't seen no posts about what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And also what gets me is that I've been seeing a lot lately. A lot of people are pretty much using this topic as a form of clout,
Right.
just to stay relevant or just so they could be known or whatever what to call it. Um, and some people also tell me like, "Hey, John, you're doing this for clout." And people that know me, like back in the day, like I would say like a couple years ago when I was still shooting an iPhone, Like I pretty much donated toys to a organization in Queens.
Okay.
I pretty much gave out clothing to homeless people in Sunset Park, and I capture these moments. So it's not like I'm just saying it because I want to say it.
Right.
I have proof of these videos of me actually, being in Sunset Park, doing Queens. So I've been doing this for a minute now. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't done this in the past couple years now, but
Right.
now that I actually, I went out there. There was a protest a couple days ago in City Hall.
Right.
I took the time because I was working, so I literally took my equipment to and right after work, I pretty much just went to the protest and I captured the moment. And I mean, I wish there was more people, but then again, I understand they're scared. They're panicked to go
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
So, but then again, like I said, what gets to me more is that people that say they do things for the culture, it's like I don't see them,
Yeah.
and they make these posts like, "Hey, yeah, we're gonna do this and that," but I feel like to me it's all clout, and it's sad.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, a lot of people, their heart, I feel, is not in the right place, and it's fucking scary. Like, having to talk to your parents, and you get that, what, si me deportan, no importa. I have
Right.
something. I have my house over there. It's fine. Here and that, and they spent their whole lives here. They spent their whole lives trying to be something here. And then for someone to
Exactly.
just
Like I said, I was born and raised here in Brooklyn, but my parents, like I see them now. Especially my mom, like she's watching the news constantly. She stopped working for that reason that she's scared to
damn,
go out. My father, he goes to work at 2, 3, or 4 in the morning, and also he there's a risk that these guys can be because of what I noticed is that these guys are pretty much just knocking on doors like so early, like 5 in the morning,
right,
and yeah, I mean he's risking his life just to go out there, and provide for the family.
right,
And like I said, there's obviously a bunch of people that are I'm sure they're going through the same thing,
yeah, of course.
and it's sad, but yeah, I mean, like I said, unfortunately, we this is the time where we gotta like pretty much unite.
Yeah, and it's not only like what I like to tell people, and it's like it's not only like let's not just unite as Mexicans, let's unite as Hispanics, let's
Right,
unite as humans, because to a certain point, like, you see what they're trying to do and get the criminals out and all of this or whatever, but they're also within that group of criminals, which is like, say, the real criminals that are like doing like the
right, yeah,
murders and all that shit. They're
exactly,
like wiping a bunch of, which is like 99% of the people, 90% of the people that are good in here to, if anything, a lot of people here are without status but paying taxes,
right,
like, just filling up the government's pockets without even status, without any paperwork, without any, visa, green card, nothing like that. But they're funding, the government, which is like crazy to me. And, to think that like it's just, it can all be ripped away within, just a bad moment. You get caught in a bad moment. You get caught, unfortunately, with, someone else is getting targeted. I see that they are targeting people, but unfortunately, they're doing what is called collateral
right.
arrest. Which is collateral damage, which is if they're looking for you and you're in the same apartment or in the same place, they will pick you up. Just because I feel like now they're so much there, and it's true. I've always said it. Like, Obama deported a lot of people, right? A lot, and he also did collaterals actually. There's actually even there's a documentary on it on Netflix on like how like it shows how ICE is coming. And if unfortunately here in the United States, a lot of people, they when they come, they're like, I'm pretty sure if you've heard like, oh, over there the money grows on trees,
Oh
and
yeah,
over there
yeah,
like, the
yeah,
people that are back in the
right,
homeland, that are over there, and the reality is that that's not the reality. The reality is here is that you wake up at 5 in the morning, you get ready to get on the train at 6 in the morning to make it to work at 7 in the morning,
right,
work a 12-hour shift, 10-hour shift, whatever it is, with a 30-minute break, come home, go to sleep, and do the same thing over again the next day, And a lot of people live like that, and then unfortunately there's one or two bad apples that, because of like the way that it's not easy here in New York. You have to work and work and work and work and work. You can't just have the luxury of living by yourself. Most of the time you're living with like two, three, four people. I've done it before.
right,
Coming up, growing up. I've lived with like the cousin or whatever. Thank God it's a different situation now, but we've all lived through that. I feel like we've all lived through that, and unfortunately, if you get caught in that moment where you don't know maybe who you're living with at the current time, you can get,
Yeah,
it can be
obviously, maybe
damaging.
exactly.
It can be damaging.
I
But
mean, yeah, I mean, people say this like they come here for the American dream, but it's not easy. We obviously struggle.
yeah, of
Like you
course.
say, we get up early, go to work, come home, and every day it repeats. It's always the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, people from the other side like, yeah, it's easier over here, but reality is not. We still struggle.
Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, especially in these moments now, unfortunately, like I said, I feel like everybody is suffering in this moment. People that are documented, people that are even the people that are documented, because like yourself, you fear, or myself, you fear for your parents.
Right.
You fear for your cousins. You fear for family. Friends even. That are not have a permanent status or any type of status here, and it's kind of scary. Like I saw around the corner from my spot, there was like 2 days ago. The 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 ice inform the ice agents were like around the block, and it's like it's crazy to think like I haven't seen it yet, but apparently you could just be passing by. They can profile you like, hey, he
Right.
probably doesn't have it. They'll lock you up.
Right.
Which is like fucking scary. So I can imagine our parents and people that are or even people that are have just come here, that the fear that must bring into
Oh
them.
no, yeah, especially like I said, sometimes I'm at work and I get a message from my mom because luckily, like I said, I'm lucky enough to like have this many followers
Right.
where like they'll send me like screenshots or like they'll send me, hey, can you repost this? You have more followers, help out the community. Which to
Right.
me, I don't mind. Like I'll do it. And then there's so many people actually like misleading information. Like, hey, we saw ICE agents in certain locations, and when,
Right.
when people go, it's like nobody's there.
Right.
Which yeah, I mean, people gotta stop at scaring also other people because this is serious.
Yeah.
Reality is serious, and sometimes a lot of these people are taking it as a joke. And like I say, I understand sometimes people want to like distract others by yeah, I see it on TikTok all these
Right.
memes about ice and this.
Yeah, the ice cream trucks.
Right. Which yeah, I understand you trying to like make I guess not joke so much around it, but it's still affecting a lot of people.
Yeah, of course. It's a lot of people that it's like now I feel like it's more a what I've noticed, even myself, like you open up TikTok, you open up Instagram, and that's pretty much everything you're seeing. So now it's causing a psychological
Right.
effect to a person where like you're like me personally, I've shut everything down. Like I'll scroll for like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. But as soon as I start seeing consistent, like I'll inform myself on what I need to be informed,
Exactly.
and then that's it. I'll shut it down. Because like I feel like it's more of a psychological thing that's going on now, because like you said, unfortunately, people are trying to either uh market themselves with this, or trying to have some type of profit with this, that they just want the clicks, they just want the views, so they'll come up with like non-fact proven things, and then just post
Just
it,
post it.
and then just to get the attention. And unfortunately, somebody may read it that doesn't have the same knowledge you have, and will freak out or panic.
Right.
And it sucks, because like we, at least even us, like we kind of could tell when things are not real or when they are. Oh, we're able to do that more research, deep dive in and more deep into the information to see if it's legitimate or not. But like per se, like our parents that are on Facebook, or our parents that are like and then they'll see something and immediately they
They'll
get
believe, yeah,
they'll
yeah,
believe it or whatever. So yeah, definitely be more cautious with I've seen enough posts where like they just post to post, and I will always say, if you have some type of information, please share a photo or something that validates that information.
And that's what I started like pretty much doing lately because when this first started, people like told me, like, hey, ICE agents are seeing this in this location. So I'll post that. I'll post the screenshot that they took me. But then I'll feel like they'll attack me like, hey, why you misleading information when this is not true.
Right.
But I'm like, it's not me. I'm just sharing what these people are sending me. But so now what I do is like, if there's no pictures, no videos, then I'm not posting it
Right.
because I obviously don't want to panic the community. And sometimes there are old videos too, something they've been posting lately.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, I try to do that now. I mean, if they provide me with a picture or a video, then I'll definitely share it.
Right. And do you think this is gonna shift the way you create content in any type of form, or how do you think this can affect the way, not necessarily your content, but how your content is pushed out. I see that you're trying to push out even more now than ever. You're trying to show to be prideful of like your roots. So how does this, how you're transitioning with your content, or how is this affecting your
I mean, to
content?
be honest, I don't see it as a really affecting my content because what I started doing this year that I never did was I go to like these like let's say small businesses, and like I go interview them.
Right,
And a lot of these places, like they don't get enough credit or they don't have enough attention.
right,
And like with that, it's like they're learning like, hey, where they came from, especially if they sell food, like where are they located in.
right.
So there's always content. There's always people that can pretty much share, their information, and there's a lot of people that actually interview like the same thing. They're coming from Mexico. They're just here for just for a better living.
Right.
Make
Pretty much like everyone that just wants the
exactly.
American
So
dream.
I feel like where everything's going on. I feel like everything's just related. And then right now we're in New York, so there's not many things going on in here in New York as far as lowriding.
Right.
So that's gonna be picked up in like in April where we're having like a big show out here. From this is a long time ago actually. We're having
Right.
a big lowrider show, but right now I just pretty much just focus on the protests. If I
Yeah.
could cover them, I'll gladly go. Like I said, and I also been doing this lately where I go to, especially here in Bushwick, they have like La Placita Knickerbocker.
Okay.
They just started this. And pretty much they have like small vendors just go there, sell
Okay.
their products. So I went there once and I started like pretty much interviewing everybody
Okay.
just to like get to know who they are, and like 'cause I have a big platform,
Right.
so I pretty much try to take advantage of that, and and show it in a positive way.
Yeah, that's great that you're doing that, because it can be a lot of help, like to use your platform, because you have a bigger outreach on people to like push that, which is actually what you have, uh, which is actually it's a great timing that you came on the pod at this time when unfortunately when these bad things are happening. But it's great that we can speak on this now, because now I see that change. You're trying to push out, you know, any content that's positive for the community, never to not back down, to make
Exactly.
sure we don't back down, because algo que no somos no nos rajamos.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of big platforms where they're not really much showcasing this, or they just post when it's convenient to them.
Right,
But like I said, I take advantage of that, and like I try to like showcase like what's going on around the world. And like I said, and people see those videos, which
right.
I'm lucky enough, and I'm glad that people are seeing those videos,
Of
not only
course.
in New York but pretty much all over.
Yeah, and now let's it sucks with what's going on right now, and my heart goes out to everyone that's like being affected, which is pretty much the whole Hispanic community, the whole Mexican community. And we'll definitely leave links down in the description for help or more resources if you need them. So we'll make sure to check that. Share. Remember one thing. Oh, thank God I remembered. One thing I wanted to say, in this pod and use this space is like, remember us as or teenagers, 20-year-olds, anyone that's more tech savvy or stuff like that. I get it. We would try to repost things to like tell other people, but for the most part, a lot of people are in our age range, or like either born here or have some type of status
Right.
here. So please be that tool for your parents, or for those that don't have it, or maybe that don't speak English like us, or understand English like
Right.
us. So please be a tool for those that don't, because sometimes, I get the help people are trying to do, but then I always think about like our parents, and I always think about like, the older, folks that are not maybe on social media, or not, and all they're getting their information from is from Univision or Telemundo,
Right.
and sometimes even those are not trustworthy
Yeah.
sources. So if you can, I really, 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 really highly suggest that you inform first, inform yourself
Right.
correctly,
Right. Yeah.
and then
Exactly.
inform those that may not be, as privileged as you are to know this language the way you do, or understand it the way you do, so you can inform them correctly. Because sometimes there's so much information coming out right now where like this guy wants to do this and wants to do that, but remember, they still have to pass has to go through the government first. It has to, and then because they see it in the news, they're like, oh, this, let's start freaking out. So please, I'm pretty sure you can agree. Like, let's try to help those that may not be as fortunate as us, that we're
Right.
able to understand that type of
And
information.
I always tell people, like you say, if you guys have anything going on in your community, that you guys want people to be aware of. I always say, the platform's there. You guys can send me, whatever you guys want, and I'll gladly reshare it. Like I have no problem with that,
Yeah, of
as long
course.
as it's helping the community and it's for a good cause. Then I'm up for it.
Right, right. All right. So let's it's good that we've had to touch that subject because it's something that's like, unfortunately it's something that's bad going on, but fortunately enough, those that are we're uniting to make it easier for everybody that's, or help each other, support each other in whatever way we can. But let's go back to Brooklyn John. Let's go back to that page. When did this start popping off? Because like, man, you just reposted like 2 days ago, where like your monthly view count was like at 10 million. I was
Right.
like, that's crazy. You know how like, it's cool that you like, you focus so much on this, and people are like, you've brought so much light to this lowrider Chicano like community.
Right.
When did it start popping off, or what video maybe did it start popping off?
This happened. I would say when I first I recorded a video in if I'm not mistaken, this happened in Arizona.
iPhone days or not iPhone days?
This was an iPhone.
Oh, iPhone days.
Okay,
Okay.
this was iPhone days. So I recorded like a classic car, lowrider car, and to be honest, I didn't put no effort. Like I love the car the way it was.
Right.
So to me, I just like I shot the video and I posted on Instagram.
Right.
And this was like right before going to sleep. And like I
Oh, it's
said,
one of those when you wake up and it's just like blowing
yeah.
up.
So it's like at that time I had like I would say like 10K followers, which was still pretty much a decent amount of followers.
Right.
And then like I said, I wake up and like I see my phone like just pretty
Just
much
flooded.
yeah. It's like what is going on? I'm like I thought I got hacked, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm like I couldn't believe it. And then I see like I went from take 10K to like 25K just like overnight.
Sheesh, 15K overnight.
I'm like damn, I'm like this must be a glitch. Like I couldn't believe it. Like I thought I was still freaking dreaming.
Right.
And
Trying to pinch yourself.
yeah, so
Yo.
I closed the app. Like I actually closed the app. I'm like, let me refresh the app. I'm like, maybe something's going on. And then I see more and more followers coming in. I'm like, wait, what's going on? So I clicked on the video. Like the video had like just overnight like 1.1 million views.
Shoot.
Like I didn't even because before I used to watermark my videos.
Right.
I used to like add the Brooklyn John. To be honest, I sometimes do it, but I kind of stop now because I
Right.
feel like it sometimes it gets in the way. But sometimes I feel like I need to because people
They'll steal your content.
they like to steal content and they don't give credit, which
Right.
I don't appreciate. Because obviously it takes time editing and for
Yeah,
somebody
of course.
to
And it's
take
your
it.
creative craft that you're pushing out.
Yeah, so to this day I still see people like reposting my video and like no credit. Like so
Yeah.
I pretty much like I go on there on the page and I pretty much like thanks for using my video.
You call them out.
And like they delete the comment.
Oh
They
yeah.
delete the comment, so it's like
Next
damn.
time you're like, yo, don't delete the comment, puto.
So I was like, damn, like okay. And so yeah, I mean that blew up and that's when I started gaining more followers. People, to be honest, people thought like I would buy them.
Right.
And I was like, but damn, like, I'm like, what you mean you can buy them? Like, I didn't know you can buy them.
Oh, you didn't even know.
I didn't, yeah, I didn't
Right.
know. So I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then, obviously, you got the haters, like, hey,
Of
he,
course.
he actually like, bought these followers. But yeah, obviously, like, and after post, they would reach like a certain like 10K views, 15K views.
Right.
Any video I started posting, and I guess it was like the song that I chose that was trending, and also the hashtags because I used to use a lot of hashtags.
Right.
And then recently with the situation going on, like I said, I used the audio of Bo Bondi. He's from Texas. And except for me, every parade that we have here, every 15 septiembre, I feel
Right.
like those videos blow up because so many people come out here for that.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I used some clips from there and I used the audio. And like except overnight I got like 1.1 million
Sheesh.
views and like I said,
What's your most viewed video right now? What's
right
that?
6.6 million views.
Sheesh.
And that's also for the Mexican parade.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that was on TikTok, Instagram. Where was that?
I posted on Instagram. It blew up on Instagram, and then I posted on TikTok, and it blew up on
Oh
TikTok.
shit! They like double.
Yeah, so I feel like I said, for me, like where I start seeing more like you could say attention to my videos when I shoot like I said the parade here in New York that we
Right,
have every
right.
year, because so many people come like from out of state,
Right.
and even now like we still have a long way to go to till September.
Right.
And we got people from like Florida, Cali, Arizona. Hey John, can I get a date for when when you guys gonna have the parade?
Oh, okay.
Which is crazy. I'm like, to be honest, there's no date yet because these guys those usually don't release it till like when it's getting closer.
Right.
But they're like, oh, it's because we gotta book our flights.
Oh
So I was
shoot.
like, damn, like I wish I could help there, but
Yeah.
I can't do anything about it.
And what doors has this opened for you now that you're like again? It's nearly 100. Last I checked, it was nearly 100,000 followers. You're almost at that mark. What doors has this opened for you, filmmaking wise, or just cultural wise? What doors, or just career wise? Because now this is a career. You would say this is your
Right.
career now. This is where you're pursuing.
So I feel like I started working, like I said, first was when MC Magic and Little Rob and Baby Bash came to New York.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest, I reached out to them, but to be honest, I didn't think that they were gonna respond.
Right. Right.
I'm
You're
like,
just shooting out on the
yeah, I'm
stars.
just,
Let's see.
I'm just taking risks. So I'm like, all right. So the next day, I get a reply from the manager,
Of MC Magic.
MC Magic, and like, hey John, can you provide me with your an email and your Instagram page so I could check it out?
Oh shoot! What
So
did that feel like?
right away, I'm like, yeah, here you go.
Right.
And then he's like, hey, can I get your number? So I gave him my number. He texted me. He's like, oh damn, I love your work. I love how you pretty much capture like the scene out here in New York because it's something we don't really see.
Right.
So I was like, hey, yeah, just come to our show. We got you with backstage and all that.
Oh
I'm
shoot!
like, damn, like I couldn't believe it. So
Was that like the first like crazy opportunity you got?
I would say that was like the first, yeah, the first ones because and then like I said, and then Little Rob was there too,
Right.
and he's like, yeah, just come shoot. And so I started shooting for them three. It was like I said, MC Magic, Little Rob, and Baby Bash, and I grew up listening to them.
Right.
I feel like everybody here grew up listening to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I couldn't believe it, and like for me, it's like every time like I get those opportunities, like I like to like share my emotions. Like I'll post it on Instagram.
Right.
Some people like, hey, just to show off, but
Right.
it's
No,
not.
but it's a lot of people don't see it as, and it's like it's an accomplishment. It's a real
Yeah.
accomplishment. It's like right now I've been in the working out, and I don't look big. I don't look huge. I'm not like these like gym guys that are huge. But every little accomplishment I like to share, and a lot of people would be like, "Oh, why you?" But you start thinking about it, is I'm not sharing it to like belittle anyone or be like, "Hey, look what I can do. You can't." No, it's self accomplishments, and unfortunately, you know what I feel like it's. Unfortunately, I feel like it's people that are insecure that are unfortunately, and it sucks to get a smacked with reality, but I feel like it's people that are they see you and they see that you're actually doing it and somebody else is not, whatever that means to you, and they feel some type of way because they're like, damn, that's what I could be doing, but I'm not. So instead of applauding them, I'm gonna hate them.
I'm a hate. I didn't know what was hate before when I first started this. When I first saw my first hate comment, I'm like, damn, like
It hits you, right?
I really got to me. I'm like, damn, I'm like, what did I do wrong? I'm like,
Right.
so I was like checking my footage. I'm like, I mean, I don't see nothing wrong, but
Yeah.
that was like my first hate, and then like eventually when I started like doing this more and more, to be honest, inside the lowrider scene, there's like a car club, not a car club. I wouldn't say car club. It's a person
Right.
that truly like he like talks bad about me.
Oh yeah.
If John wants to come to this
Hey,
event,
listen to me. His videos are fire. Fuck you.
You
Let's
know,
expose his ass, right?
yeah. I was like, if John wants to come to this event, don't invite him. If he wants to, like, for me, like I reach out to the car owners. Hey, can I use your car for a video?
Right. Right.
Obviously, I never ask for nothing for free.
Right.
If you need gas money, if you need how much, and I got you.
Yeah.
But you're like, oh yeah, he's making money out, from us, with all these videos that he's posting. I'm like,
Right.
you're talking all this shit, but I'm like, I'm posting your car, I'm like, and I'm not getting nothing from it. So it's
Right.
like, and like I said, I always say, like I said,
Yeah, a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions with this content creation and how they think that it's just you got a couple views, like you can start, posting it and like you can start monetizing off of this. Like I just posted that my page got humbly, right? My page got 100,000 views. And a lot of people started hitting me up like, "Yo, you're getting paid off of this, right?" I'm like, "Bro, I can't even monetize yet." I'm just posting my podcast to like.
No, like you said earlier, sometimes we just like to share our accomplishments, but people take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like for me, like when I posted that, like the 7.1 million views during like the past 30 days, I didn't do it to show off. I just did
Right.
it because that's something I never hit. It's
Yeah.
the first time I hit that.
No, and it's great to like, I feel like instead of like, some people instead of taking it to like as a show off, I feel like it's like you should post it so people can get inspired and be like, yo, if he has nothing different that I can, That's why I started this podcast because I'm
Right.
like, hey, there's so many guys doing podcasts and they're like popping off, and you know, there's not much of a difference. We're all flesh, we're all bones, you know. Just because they made it doesn't mean I can't make it. And instead of seeing it like, oh they probably, like you said, they probably bought those views, or it's probably like fake clout. No, let me just try to, you know, see if I can get it. Let me try to do this. You know,
Exactly. I mean, there's some people that actually want to do it and want to learn it,
right,
but there's some people that actually, oh, I see this person doing it. Let me try, do the same thing.
right.
Which to me, that that's not genuine. So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, and same thing with filmmakers and photographers here. I feel like we're pretty much united. But yeah, I mean, there's always somebody that's gonna hate.
There's always a hater.
There's always somebody that's gonna talk shit for no reason. So it's
Mm.
like it happens. So, but yeah, I would say like for that it was MC Magic, Little Rob, Baby Bash, and then like I said, once I got like this happened last year when I saw a follow from Snow the Product. I don't know if you know her.
Oh no.
Okay, she's a rapper from Cali.
Okay.
She's like a well-known rapper.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's like I couldn't believe it because she saw like I said the parade again.
Right.
And I get accept so many people watch those videos that I feel like that's where I get my followers
Right.
because they don't know that we have that out here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like people from Cali. We don't even have this. So
Oh
for
yeah.
you guys who have that, I'm like that's something that we it's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's where I feel like that's where I started like pretty much. And then besides like the Chicano, like you could say culture, back in 2020 when I was still shooting an iPhone, Ivan Cantor, Shadow Records,
Oh right.
he was living in Mexico.
Okay.
And he actually texted me because I grew up listening to him too.
Yeah, of course. If you haven't, man, you've been living under a rock.
Right, so shout out to Shadow
Yeah,
Records.
shout out to my boy Shadow Records. We outside?
Yeah, we outside. Yeah, like I said, he reached out to me. He's like, hey, I love your videos. I love the way you record them. I'm gonna be in New York. I forgot what month, but it was still cold. He's like, how about we shoot a video? I was like, damn, like that's crazy. I'm like Shadow Records,
Right.
yeah,
Someone that like I'm listening.
yeah, I was
that I
like,
listen to.
him.
Yeah.
Exactly. So he came out here. Now he's my compadre because like I said, I was.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So I'm always like I said, I'm always there for him. And he knows that. And when he needs to shoot a video, I'm there too. Like tomorrow, they're having Cumbiatron here in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm gonna be definitely capturing that.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. TFTI.
But yeah, I mean, he was one of the guys that actually pretty much reached out to me like, hey, let's shoot a music video. But I wasn't really comfortable because it was a music video.
Right.
So to my knowledge, at that time, I was like, yeah, you need a big production for this.
Right. Right.
There's no way I'm shooting this on iPhone and expect to be the best quality. But he's like, yeah, just invite people. Let's do like like a block party type of video.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, believe it or not, a bunch of people came out. I shot the video. Like I mean, I wasn't really pretty much like confident.
Right.
But I'm like, all right, I already shot cars. Let me see
Yeah.
how different can this be.
Let's try it.
But to be honest, yeah, I mean, it was challenging because I didn't want to say like, yo, I'm not ready for this.
Right. You wanted to take the challenge.
I wanted to take the challenge. So I did that, and he was happy with the outcome. So I was like, all right. And then, like I said, I would say like months after, Chucho Ponce reached out to me.
Oh shit.
He's like, hey, bro, I love the way you color your videos. I like the way you shoot your videos. Let's shoot. I'm gonna be in Brooklyn. Let's shoot a video. So like it was different to me because I was so used to like the Chicano culture, like
Right.
Lowriders, the music, and all that.
Yeah, it's a
And
different.
So
it's
now
a
it's a
different
whole
wave.
different music,
To the
genre.
cumbia scene.
Exactly.
And now it's huge, right? The cumbia scene.
Yeah,
is
now
huge.
now it's big out here. So yeah, so he came out here. We shot a video. That day it was I was freezing. Like we did a shoot like it was he rented like a studio,
Right.
but then he wanted some shots outside, and I remember it was freezing.
It's like, yo, let's get this done.
Yeah, I'm like, let's do it. So we did it. But it was harder for me to edit that video just because he was in Mexico and I was obviously here.
Right.
So for me, it's like I need to have that person like next to me. So if he wants to make some changes, like I'll
Like
do
to
it right
see
there.
what their vision is on the
Right.
video.
So it was a struggle, but we still got the video done. To be honest, at the end, I just sent it to him and his editor did it, because I'm like, there's no way I can communicate with him like that.
Yeah, of course.
So the video came out. So he gave me credit for shooting the video,
Right.
obviously. So I started doing that, and then like I would say like a year after, Carmelo Reyes from Cities La Cumbia,
Oh, okay,
he reached
okay.
out to me. He like, hey, I want to shoot video, but I need somebody here in New York. would you be down? So I had a camera ready, so
Right.
I was like, yeah, let's do it. So yeah, I shot a couple of videos with him as well. Him and shout out to him and Alex Reyes,
Alex,
Tres
yeah,
Tres
shout out to
Cumbia
Alex. Yo, I've been having people tell me that they want Alex
on the
on the pod, and
podcast.
he's really cool too. I really
He's
like. He's
very
really
humble
cool.
too. I met the kid and very humble.
Yeah, shout out to Alex Reyes. Hopefully, I'm gonna shoot you a DM pretty soon, so hopefully
Right.
you can jump on the pod.
Yeah. So
Bro, John. Oh, sorry, I was gonna cut you off. Go for it.
now that from there, I started like going to bailes,
Right,
and to be honest, I wasn't really like digging them
right.
just because it was nothing to do with me. Like I was
Yeah,
so
different
used,
environment.
right? So just like the crowd, you got the sonido, and then
Yeah,
like say a lot of these people just go there just to cause
yeah,
drama.
it's a little sketchy. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's like it wasn't my thing. And during those times, like I would go and people were like staring at me like in a weird way just because like the way I dress.
right.
And I always had that problem like, growing up. Because I used to like dress like loose clothes.
Yeah,
For me, I like to feel comfortable, so I
yeah.
wear like
And
baggy
you think maybe
clothes.
you were even influenced because of the like what you were shooting and what you liked?
I mean, I wouldn't say. I just grew up like that. Like I said, because I still see like baby pictures and I have like jerseys on and
Oh, okay.
baggy clothes. But so yeah, so I used to like go to these bailes and people just stare at me like real bad, like damn, like
Yeah,
I couldn't even concentrate recording because I felt like the stairs like right here.
yeah.
I'm like damn, like so I'm like I started doing it. I actually started doing it because of I actually think Shadow. He started like inviting
Or
me to
like
these
pop
events,
out.
and then I had the promoters too, like Brizzy Events,
Right.
Cuba Productions. These guys will reach out to me like, hey, I'm having an event. Can you come
Right.
record?
And I
So
feel like it's more of like you take on like your let me try to be versatile maybe like maybe correct me if I'm wrong but you're like trying to be versatile like let's see if like not can I only shoot in a controlled environment but let me see if I can shoot in
right,
this type of environment so you make yourself more versatile so when more opportunities come you're able to take whatever opportunity comes or
yeah,
arises.
but I noticed that the followers that I had, if I when I posted like a cumbia video,
They didn't
like
fuck with it.
nah. So I
Yeah,
was like,
it
nah,
happens yeah
man.
because you're in your niche as well like
Right.
you're
So I was
from your
like,
niche.
I mean, if I'm not getting this, then I gotta please, the followers that actually are here for a reason,
Right.
which was lowrider content.
And that's something you enjoy in general since as
Exactly.
a kid.
So I was like, no. So what I would tell these guys, like, yeah, I'll shoot it, but I'm not posting on my page. Like, I'll
Right.
send it to you guys. You guys post it. You guys want to tag me, then go ahead. But
Right.
it won't be on my page. And some of them like understood that, and I feel like a lot of them just took it personal. Like, hey, why can't you just
Right. They
share the
didn't
video?
understand,
Right? They didn't
that.
understand it. So I was like, all right, cool. And then like I said, this happened like pretty much during the winter, because like I said, lowriders they're not outside, so we can't.
Yeah.
I had to find something to like free just pretty much record. And yeah, and then like I said, the name of We Outside started, and like there was gigs after gigs, so it was like every weekend.
Right.
And at that time, like I said, Shadow was on a tour with Pirata and Chucho Ponce.
Right.
So I was pretty much there just recording, but it wasn't my thing. After a while, I stopped. Like I didn't enjoy them,
Right.
so I stopped going to these events. And then recently, like when I heard Cumbiatron, I feel like it was more organized.
Right.
Like it's like yeah, you
More
got
your
the music.
vibe.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why tomorrow, like I said, I'll be there just recording the event. But as
Okay.
far as like a like a baile or
Right.
sonidos, I don't see myself recording there like anytime soon.
Right.
Like I
Yeah.
said, no disrespect to nobody. Like it's not like I don't want to do it, but it's not my thing.
No, of course. No, of course. I totally get you. And as a DJ, trust me, I get you. It's like I love cumbia and I love the wepas and all these cumbias and I listen to them on the daily. But as a DJ, I like to be versatile as
Right.
well, and I love Mexican music like the next person. Bro, if you were to ride with me in my car all day, every day, I'm bumping to cumbia, corrido, especially corridos,
Oh, corrido, I love corridos.
all day. But you also enjoy to do certain other things, and then a lot of people don't understand like, oh, just because you're Mexican, you're only gonna focus on that.
Yeah, like I said, don't
Or
get me
just
wrong. I love cumbias. Like I listen to them every single day. But for
right.
me to like be there
And
recording,
to have Shadow as your compadre, like,
for me to be
bro.
recording, that's like yeah, it's not, it's not my thing.
Yeah, of
So,
course, of
but
course.
yeah, Shadow like I said, Shadow understands that, and I spoke to him several times. Like yeah, you need me, I'll be there, but don't expect to be there all the time.
Right. Now, what do you have as a lot of people call it their New Year's resolution, but I see it more as goals you have to accomplish, and then not necessarily in a span of a year, but it could be like in the next 6 months, in the next 3 months. in the next year, what is your top 3 goals you have on target right now that you want to accomplish?
So I told myself this before 2025. I'm like 2025. I actually want to like go out there and interview people. So
Okay.
I started doing that more, which I feel like I started the right path. Like I invested like for Christmas, I got like I was telling myself okay. So for any little thing that I talk about is my parents.
Right.
Me and my parents and my sister, we're always there. We sit down and we speak about like any issues or especially with me with the gigs. So I was like, I need microphones. Like, I want to invest in microphones.
Right.
Christmas came and my sister, like, pretty much, she blessed me with a pair of headphones. I mean, I'm a headphone, sorry, microphone.
Microphones. Okay. Like
So,
chest microphone.
right,
Oh, shout out to your sister.
yeah, yeah. So then my mom, she got me like a hard drive because then I was running out of space.
Right. Yo, tell
Especially
me
with these
about it.
videos,
Yeah,
you,
tell me
you
about
need a
it.
lot of space.
Hell yeah.
So that too. So like I said, and I feel like this year I want to focus more like on that. Like I want to like tell stories
Right.
because people know it for lowriders, but they don't know who's the owner. They don't know
Right.
like
Right.
the struggles or how much the car is worth. So now that the summer's coming soon or spring summer, I'm gonna go out there and interview these guys, um, and I want to travel more. So recently, like a couple days ago, I got booked to record a lowrider show in Chicago
Oh shit, for
in
real?
June.
Oh, nice. That's what's up.
So I used to like travel more, but like you said, pandemic, and then also these trips are expensive.
Yeah, yeah. Of
And
course.
like I said, for me, like ever since the first time I stepped foot in the West Coast, I loved it.
Yeah.
Like for me, I feel like there's so much love. And like I mentioned earlier, most of my followers are from the West Coast.
Right.
And like I said, I met also like I ran into him in a couple times. Jimmy Humilde.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
like and we
shit.
had like we actually spoke, and like
That's what's
very humble
up.
dude. Like said, he's there. Like just for us,
You ain't meet Jose Torres?
no, not yet. But yeah, I mean, to us, it's like he's a big person out there.
Yeah, of course.
But you're there, and it's like he's just greeting people. He's just pretty much like like us right now, like
yeah.
any other person. And yeah, like I said, I also got like my first time I went to Cali, like I shot for this guy that sings Desde Morro, Justin
Oh.
Morales. Justin Morales.
Oh shit, you shot him?
He was there, and I shot a video, and
Oh, that's what's up.
and like I said, that's like my favorite song. If anybody knows me, they know that Desde Morro. That's like my
That's your
that's my
jam?
song.
That's your anthem.
Yeah, like I love that song.
All right.
And then also Shadow and his brother Frost, they pretty much wrote a song to me. It's out there too on all platforms. It's called Dream Big.
Dream big, okay.
And that's where I pretty much, like I said, I've been carrying on the.
And that's your motto, yeah.
Yeah, so I pretty much just always been dream big, work hard, stay humble.
And that's an amazing message to put out, because a lot of people, we forget that, a lot of people forget because unfortunately because of like especially here in the East Coast or in the United States or in the whatever you want to call it, but life is so fast, it's so quick, we forget to dream big, like, and we get, unfortunately, like what we were talking about earlier, where like you see someone doing something and instead of like pushing them, lighting that fuel to ignite them and create something big,
Right.
people shut each other down. We shut each other down, not necessarily us, but like there's other people that are quick to shut someone down, so you don't have, even if you wanted to dream big, you don't have the opportunity because you're like, nah, you doubt yourself, you're like, nah, I won't make it. So pushing that dream, I've been a big advocate of like dream big, because you don't know, especially nowadays, you don't know what
Exactly.
can pop off.
And I also got this, this from my parents. My mom always told me like, hey, no matter how far you accomplish your goals, remember where you came from. Stay humble. Work hard for what you want. And like I said, from there, it's always been like said, dream big, work hard, stay humble. And so many people love that. Like, I get messages like, hey, I love, what can I get?
Right.
Because before, I would say like 2020, 2021, I used to sell merch.
Oh, okay, for real?
Yeah, I had like my logo and then the back, the dream big, work hard, stay humble. But at that time, I wasn't really doing much.
Right.
So I had time to actually like invest my time and like
The design and all that.
exactly. But now it's like harder. So this year I told myself I want to bring out merch. Going back to your question.
So maybe that's a goal, yeah.
So bringing out merch. Like I said, shooting more. Like I said, doing more interviews.
More interviews, okay.
And
telling the story behind the cinematic scene.
exactly. And pretty much like I said, I mean, people know me also for putting the culture here in New York.
Right.
But I want to actually make it more known.
Right.
To this day, I mean, a lot of my comments that I get, It's like, oh my god, we didn't know that New York had a lot of Mexicans.
Yeah.
They always say, oh, it's Dominicans, or
Yeah,
any
yeah.
type of Mexicans. So yeah, that's like one of my top three goals that I want to accomplish this year. Like I said, so far I feel like I started the year right because I've been like pretty much interviewing people. If you guys see my content from previous years to now, it's totally different. And
Right.
a lot of people, I've been getting a lot of feedback like, hey, we love the content you're putting out, so keep it up.
Yeah, and
So
I feel like that's great when you like a lot of people are afraid of change, and I feel like we should embrace change, and maybe not change to the full extent of the word, but evolve.
right,
Evolve as a filmmaker, as a content creator, as an influencer, because now you're like hitting the like the numbers are like, bro, you're starting to influence people, and I'm pretty sure, like myself, that I don't have that many followers, and I don't have the crazy cloud that you or the numbers you're pushing or other people are pushing. And I get people that are like, yo, bro, we with the littlest thing, like, yo, bro, I'm gonna get my first set of speakers. Yo, bro, I'm gonna hit the gym for the first time. Yo, bro, I feel like I want to buy this mic for my first pod.
right.
And it's crazy because you look at yourself, you're like, okay, but I'm not that. So I can imagine someone that has like a crazy bigger following. Like you were definitely fueling someone else. Maybe you don't even know it, but you're
Yeah, I mean,
definitely
it's crazy because that you mentioned that because so many people came up to me like, "Hey, John, I started recording on iPhone because of you," and I had also little kids like, "Hey, John,
right.
I love your videos. I want to be like you when I grow up."
Oh
And
shit.
so
And doesn't that make it all like
I'm like, damn, it's like,
that's something money can seriously not buy?
right. So it's like, so this day, like I said, when they ask me, "Hey, John," when I like, especially when I'm doing these events, "Hey, John, can I get a picture?" I'm like. I feel weird, but I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Because to me, it's like, yeah, I'm just a guy shooting, content.
Right, right.
But it's always like that. So
But I feel like that's what I feel like us as your motto says is that you stay humble. So you are I like myself, like I don't like to see myself as like I'm doing this or this or that or this. I feel like maybe you share a similar thought. I feel like we're in a bubble of just like doing what we got to do, and we don't see that we are motivating people or we
right,
are inspiring people, and we just don't see it in that way unless someone comes and tells you. You're like, oh shit, I didn't even know. Like I'm just shooting because this shit's fun to me. This is like
yeah,
I like
yeah.
this. And it's
It's crazy to me. Like I said, it brings so much joy. Like like for me, it's hard for me to express myself.
right,
Like I might not show it, but deep inside me, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, it feels amazing. Or sometimes, like I said, when just random like followers, they're tagging me on like a post, like we're watching a video of like a podcast or a video that I recorded, or even like I said the song that I did with that Shadow did for me and his brother,
right,
Dream Big. We people play that song, so it feels great. All the accomplishment that
of course,
been doing this for almost 6 years, so obviously been putting work,
yeah, of
and I
course,
do this because I love. For me, it was never I'm doing this because I want followers,
or
clout.
the
And for
money,
me, I don't care. Like I'm doing this because I actually love it and
right.
enjoy what I
And I
do.
feel like that's when it works out the best.
Exactly. So like I said, I'm gonna continue pushing lowriders. The East Coast. I'm gonna continue representing the culture here in New York because to be honest, I've heard it a lot of times from people like, hey, we represent the culture, but what are you doing for the culture?
Right.
And they're not doing nothing.
Yeah, of
So I feel
course.
like they just to their own benefits,
Yeah.
or when it's convenient, they want to. Yeah, we're doing this for the culture.
Right.
But I feel like I got to the point where I feel like I'm the one that's actually representing the culture here in New York,
Yeah, of course.
and like I said, showcasing the lowrider scene in New York. And it's crazy because when I go to Cali, Vegas, and all these places out there, people know me. They
Yeah.
come up to me like, "Hey, you're the guy that shoots videos in New York, right?" I'm
The
like, "Yeah."
lowrider videos.
I'm like,
Yeah, that's
yeah. So
me.
people know me for that, like for lowriders or for the culture here in New York.
Right.
Like I said, now with whatever with the situation we have going on with ICE, people like reach out to me like, "Hey, John, if there's any protests, please let us know. We would like to
Right.
attend." So when it comes to things like that, I actually like to put out because sometimes I will put like random things there on my page. I
Right.
used to be so focused on the haters, like any little song, it will be just for that because believe it or not, a lot of people that don't like me, they're watching my stories.
Yeah, I feel like that's the people that most watch you.
And exactly, there's people that talk shit about me all the time,
Yeah,
and they're the ones watching. So
of
I
course.
would literally on purpose put a song out there, just
Yeah,
throwing
yeah,
subs at
yeah, yeah.
them,
I know what you mean.
and I would like be so focused on that where people like, hey John, why you posting this? Like it got some point where I was just posting so much about the haters, and not focus much on the content that I do.
Right.
So I'm like, now that I'm seeing more followers on my page, I want to be like, more positive. Obviously we're in a situation where things are happening now with
Right.
families, and I just know that. So I'm trying to, like, pretty much promote that. I was, like I said, I went to the protest, so I showcased that video. A lot of people, love the video.
Right. And that's a great way of like a lot of people be like, no, but if you're a content creator or you're a filmmaker, whatever, you have to be there and you have to be physically there and protesting, whatever. But this is like this is a way that you can, expose this and like get a bigger outreach on people, your way, and clearly it's been working. A lot of
Right.
people are like seeing your videos, and a lot of people, unfortunately, they're not informed of like how bad this is impacting, or maybe not necessarily in our culture, but like on other cultures or demographics, they don't know how bad this is impacting the community. And now with your videos, they get to see like, holy shit, this is like
Yeah, I mean, some people are like, "Hey, we didn't know this was going on, but we saw the video." I'm like, we wish we would have known about this.
right,
So, like I said, right now, that's what I'm trying to focus more on, like promoting, like not only obviously I want to promote positive things, but not with the situation going on. I also want to inform people. Like I said, I'm lucky enough to have that following base, so take advantage of it and use it as a positive way. Also spread love and information.
right. And yeah, definitely information and positivity, which we need right now, because
Yeah, a
we're
lot.
in dark times. But what can we see coming up from you? What projects you got coming up from you this year, 2025? We just started the year where the longest fucking month we've had, the 2 year
Right, yeah,
month.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. It felt so
Oh,
long.
you right? But what projects do you have that you can share that you have
So
going on, or gonna have on? Maybe not now. Like you said, you're going to Chicago, so that's really cool. What else you got going on,
so
project wise?
the people that are into lowriders, in April 26th, Lowrider magazine. Those that know about lowriders, like I said, Lowrider magazine is coming out to Atlantic City. So
Okay.
they're hosting like a big car show, lowrider
Okay.
show.
Right.
So we're having like cars coming from
In
Chicago,
Atlantic City, you said?
yeah,
Okay, cool.
Cali, other states. Obviously, this is more for the East Coast,
Right.
but there's doing they said they did it before, but like I said, I wasn't into lowriders at that time because this happened in 2006. I was still a little kid,
Yeah, yeah.
so I didn't know. But now it's like they're bringing it back.
And I'm guessing the convention center or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the convention center in Atlantic City. So that's like a big show going on. Also, like I said, you mentioned earlier, the Chicago. I'm going there in June. We're also having in June a thing called Chicano Gala.
Okay.
Those that don't know, pretty much like I said, the East Coast is getting recognized for that, for the Chicano culture.
Oh shoot.
So they're bringing a lot of influencers from Cali to this event, and This is happening in Jersey.
Okay.
So this is like a big event. You got to purchase tickets.
Oh, that's what's up.
So like I said, I'll be putting more information about that soon.
Yeah, and we'll have
Uh,
all of that, and if whatever we have available, or whatever we have available, we'll make sure to put it
like I said,
there.
and I'm gonna continue, like I said, shooting in like lowrider content, but like I said, doing more interviews. Or not, I wouldn't say interviews, but like more like short videos, but getting to know that person.
Right, trying to tell the story behind the person.
Yes, because I recently opened up my YouTube channel, and
Okay, so
back
plug
in
that. What's the channel?
is just Brooklyn John Films. You guys type that, and I only have like I think one video, but that video that I have up there, they shot a video of me back in 2020, like a short film about me and like the lowrider scene. So if
Oh
you guys
shit.
want to know more about that, you guys can go check my page, and that video pretty much showcases like what's lowriding and here in New York, and yeah, like I said, they did this back in 2020, but yeah, 2020, but they I recently posted this video.
Oh shit. Well, that's what's up. Well, it's a really. I mean, you have a freaking cool 2025 ahead of you. So it's man, I wish you the best of luck, and I can't wait to see what more content, and especially now that you say you're gonna. We were talking about like how it's like you get a little scared behind the
Right,
camera,
right,
and
yeah.
I'm like, yo, me too, man. Like it may seem like that's not it, but me too. But it's cool that you're putting yourself out there and like trying new things to like show like I said, evolve your content now. Now you got the cinematic, which you really got it down. Like you got how to shoot a
Right.
cinematic scene, but now you want to tell the story. So it's really I can't wait to see that the storytelling behind the film. So I'm very excited for you.
Yeah, actually,
Um,
I've been doing this for almost 6 years, so I don't want to keep repeating the same thing over and over. I mean,
right,
yeah, in New York, we only have a little bit a small community of lowriders, so
right.
I'm sure that people seen those cars over and over. So now, what I want to do is just pretty much get to know the owner of the car, the struggles, the paint job, the
Yeah,
how
why
much
they got into that?
exactly. So I want to start doing that. So like I said, right now, it's been working good, and hopefully, it's a better year for me and for anybody that's trying to accomplish something. Best luck to everybody.
Of course, give someone a quick piece of advice. Maybe a future filmmaker. Maybe at what age did you start?
Cause I was 21, so I started shooting when I was 21. But like I said, there were so many challenges. Me want to become one of that because like I said, I didn't know the resources.
Right.
Now it's easier. I mean, I wouldn't say easier, but now you got YouTube. So
Yeah.
YouTube, you
And
pretty much
TikTok.
and TikTok. So you pretty much find anything now.
Yeah.
Obviously you're gonna come through challenges where you're gonna, editing, recording. But like I said, don't give up. If you really want to do that, then go for it. Challenge yourself and take your risk. In life you gotta take risks. Like I always say, life's a risk. Like in the movie,
Like that movie.
let
La
him,
vida
let
son riesgo.
la vida es un riesgo. So I always say that. And like I always say, guys, no matter how far you guys get or what you want to accomplish, always dream big, work hard, and stay
Stay
humble.
humble. I like that. Great way to end it, my brother Brklyn John. Thank you so much for your time. Once again, where can we find all of your content? Instagram, TikTok. Plug it in right now.
So yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook at Brklyn John. Uh, instead of the O is a zero. People get confused with that, but yeah,
Okay, but either way, we'll have it in the
yeah,
description.
right.
We'll have it in the description. We'll also have a lot of information, as much the best information I can get for everything going around right now. Like I said, a lot of us understand what's going on. A lot of us understand the information, how to stay safe. But unfortunately, our parents or family members or anybody that doesn't understand as easily as we do, please share it. Please try to translate that into a way that they can understand, so we can communicate that information. But my brother Brooklyn John, thank you so much for your time.
No, thank
It's been
you.
a great episode. Very informative. I feel like a lot of people are inspired by, like, not even just by the podcast, but just like the type of videos you're pushing out the culture. Like you said, you're pushing out the culture. You're pushing, especially pushing it out here in the East Coast, which is
Right.
like something that's new right now. It's growing, and you're definitely supporting that and aiding that to make it big. Like, we're well known that the West Coast has a heavy presence, but with your help and everybody else, putting their heads together, I'm pretty sure the East Coast will be known for this amazing culture that is the Mexican culture, the Hispanic culture, the Chicano culture, and the Lowrider culture. Once again, my brother Brooklyn John, thanks again
Thank
for
you.
coming out and taking the time to be in this episode. Guys, thank you for watching. If you made it to this part of the episode, thank you so much for watching. Remember, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share. And remember, dream big, work hard, and stay humble.
That's right.
Yes, sir.